Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, the 8th of September. You know, it flies by. Last week was a whole 7 days ago. It was a whole week ago. Good morning, everybody. I've been up for a while, so I'm on to the cold caffeine. Hope that's okay. Although I do have both here. I still have I told you this. I mentioned this mug a few weeks ago. This is the one that Caroline, my son's girlfriend, got us from their trip that they had a family reunion, I don't know, weeks ago at this point. But anyway, it's like my favorite cup. It's like just perfect. Anyway, but I've also got my other favorite cup, which is my Diet Coke. So there we have it. What are you drinking this morning or this afternoon? Again, for those of you who are in the UK, I know it's lunchtime for you. So Jane and Shafiq and anybody else that's joining, good morning to you. So okay, so I don't know what your weekend was like, but mine was a little bit crazy. Busy as always, lots of stuff going on, lots of things to do, lots of tasks, lots of clients, lots of paperwork, lots of emails, lots of phone calls, and lots of fun. Like it was pretty good. So and by the way, anyone that's popping in that I haven't said, good morning, Elizabeth, and Elsie. Good morning, Geraint. Haven't seen you in a while. So, oops, sorry, I got to turn my ringer off my phone. We have a showing confirmed for one of my listings. That's what the little ding was. It was confirming that there's a showing. So, yay, starting out great. So much has been going on in real estate. So much has been going on with some of my buyers, some of my sellers, just clients in general. So new listings getting ready to come up, working on some of those numbers. But the other thing I want to mention, and I'll just, it doesn't really matter. I was going to do a segment on it. But we had some issues with, I don't know what's going on. Some of you that might be more technically savvy, for some reason, videos on Eric's Facebook page, which are absolute treasures, we can't seem to find them or access them. So today is 8 months since Eric passed to the day. So that's never great, right? Every day it's kind of like another big breath, another fighting back the tears. But like we did, Allie had put together one of those videos of him back in our performing days on stage. There was another one that I wanted to do, and Daryl, you're in that one, and I have to keep looking for it. It's my favorite when you guys did Summer Rhythms, which is a live show at King's Dominion out in front of the Eiffel Tower. And it was really outstanding. Their cast was amazing. And it was when Eric would sing the Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes is my absolute favorite song that he sang. Just the whole thing was amazing. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. We couldn't find it, so we'll get to it. I promise I'll get to it because I don't want, I want you guys to be able to share in some of those memories. I don't want to bombard every coffee time with that. But today is 8 months. It's a little tough, but we're going to get through it, my friends. So that segment that was actually going to be, I took out and we inserted something different. So we've got some topics today. See you guys popping in. So let me see who I've missed this morning. All right. So Elizabeth, you popped in with Elsie. I don't know if Elsie's watching, but hi, Elsie. Jane, we talked about it. Good. Oh, wait. So Jay says the leaves. I can't. My little thingy's blocked in front of it. Okay. The leaves are starting to change up here. Really pretty driving up to Montreal for a few days. Oh my gosh. Jay, drive safely, but take some pictures and send them to me. You can text them to me. You can email them to me, but I want some pictures. Absolutely my favorite thing and what I miss the absolute most. Gorgeous. So take pictures, share them with all of your I was gonna say your Facebook family. Nope, your Heart and Home Orlando family. Diary of the Tattered Slob. Okay, I love it. Well, welcome. I am so glad that you are here. Geraint is here. Everyone, who else? Geraint. Okay, let me see. I've missed some comments up here clearly. Yep. Good morning, Mark. Good morning to you. I may have missed you. Dina, good morning to you as well. Anyway, mostly I'm just so excited that you're here today. We're going to get going because I do have to scoot out early because I have, we're saying we still have some Wi-Fi hiccups. Allie, still having some Wi-Fi hiccups. Apologies. If you're having troubles with lagging, try to reload the stream, changing the stream quality and settings, or rewinding the stream a tad. Okay, well, that's not good. That stresses me out the whole time. So we'll just kind of get through this. All right, so we thought we had it figured out last week because there was a time when I was filming some other things and recording that I guess I forgot to stop something. And so perhaps last week coffee time, um, it was potentially what was making last week wonky. So we thought we had fixed it, but anyway, hope I did. Anyway, well, with that, let's just go ahead and get going so we can get down to business, and I'll stop yakking about the stuff that nobody really cares about. So here we go. Here's what's brewing today. Okay, so the brewing topics today, finally fall. Don't you love the beautiful fall background? Thank you, Allie, for that. So finally fall, don't give up, and details. So some intriguing topics today. So finally fall, really, it's just, we talked last week about how I was just really excited about the fall weather, that in my brain, September and October represent fall decorations, and that November and December represent Christmas decorations. Yes, I know Thanksgiving is in there, and yes, Thanksgiving is super important, but it ends up being kind of a blend. But yeah, so September, October, whether or not it feels like fall, I just make it feel like fall around me. I've got all sorts of candles lit. I'm a very big sensory person, specifically smells. Wow, that's a lot to say in the early morning. I'm a lot of S's. But the sense of fall are absolutely my favorite. So have those candles going on all the time. So I kind of, even if it still happens to be a little bit hot, technically not crisp fall. We don't have the leaves changing, Jay. They're not falling down all around us. But but I can trick my brain by putting out those candles. So that's kind of my trick. But yeah, September, October, fall decoration, November, December, Christmas decoration. So I'm going to say it's fall. And here's the thing. This is something else kind of to note. We have, excuse me. Okay, maybe it's fall and I'm getting icky. All right, so we have an event that's popping up. I say we, it's not me. I'm not a part of it. Just happened to be a part of where it's located. So Orlando Health Hospital there in Horizon West, which candidly is the hospital where we frequented that quite a bit. They've got some doctor's offices in there. That's the ER that took care of us so many times. Kids have been there for various reasons. So the hospital right here in Horizon West, presented by Orlando Hospital there in Horizon West. It is not going to be located at the hospital. So don't go to the hospital. Go to the hospital if you need to go to the hospital. But for the Flavor Fest, which is a taste of Horizon West, this is going to be some local vendors and restaurants. This is going to actually happen on November 8th. So if you happen to be out and about and around the area, set that day aside. You can get your tickets at flavorfesthorizonwest.com. So it's flavorfesthorizonwest.com. You can get your tickets. And honestly, it's going to be really, really fun. If you're a foodie, if you just like to kind of get out and do those community activities right there in the middle of fall, I love that. Again, that's November 8th, and it'll be from 5 to 9 p.m. 5 to 9 p.m. So if you have more information on that, if you want more information, you can text me and I'll send it to you. But if you go to flavorfesthorizonwest.com, you'll be able to get some more information, timing, and tickets there. So that makes me feel like fall, right? Having a little bit of these community activities. Farmers markets are, obviously we get those all the time, but the fall ones are a little bit different. You get the pumpkin patch, get the little field trips with all the kiddos, and the lovely fall weekend, grab a light jacket and head out and have some fun. Go to some of these beautiful farms and areas where you can enjoy. There's even like big sunflower farms. I don't know if it's sunflower season, but at any rate, there's a lot of things that you can do. And when Flavor Fest popped up, I thought those of you that are big foodies might enjoy that one. Jay says, yes, you can send me some leaves. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Tracy, Flavor Fest sounds so fun. I think I missed where it is held. So it is held at, and I'll give you the address, but honestly, if you're interested, it'd be easier if you just texted me and I can give it to you. It's there in Horizon West, but it's not at the hospital. Let me see if I can find that. It's an address. But again, flavorfesthorizonwest.com. So it is a food festival held in Horizon West, Florida. It showcases the local restaurants and the vendors. I'm featuring some global bites, live music, and more. The hospital doesn't host the event at its facility. It supports the community gathering, and it'll take place November 8th from 5 to 9 p.m. at, here's the address, 14111 Shoreside Way, Winter Garden, Florida. And then you can, again, find more event details and tickets at flavorfesthorizonwest.com. So There you go. Hopefully, Tracy, that helps you. But yeah, that's going to be really fun. That's going to be a fun thing. If those of you that like to get out and about and kind of stroll around and have something to eat, something to drink, socialize a little bit, I think that'll be a really nice fun one. Certainly right here in the community. Good morning to Kim Sokolsky. Good morning. All right, so let's go on. So that was our first brewing topic. The second brewing topic is don't give up. Okay, so this is kind of where we are. It is getting really, really, really stressful for a lot of people who have their homes on the market, whether they're my clients, whether they are not my clients, whether they're out of the state. People are getting a little stressed. They're getting a little nervous because we had, as we've said many times, we've had an uncharacteristically slow spring and summer. It was slower then, and now we hit the actual slow season. So it's kind of hurting a little bit for a lot of people. Things are still selling. Don't get me wrong. We just had a closing the other day. Things are still selling. Buyers are still buying. It's just that there's not a lot of buyers, and we have a lot of options for the few buyers that are out there, and that's making things take longer. And that's okay. That's just part of the market, guys. That's part of the cycle. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you have the correct expectation that things may take a little bit longer. Now, as we approach the holiday season, I've had some clients that are like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take the home off the market because I just want to be able to enjoy the holidays with my family. I want to be able to decorate fully. I want to be able to have them over fully. I want to be able to celebrate with, Christmas, have the presents out and about. And I just don't want to have to worry about a last minute text message from Amy going, hey, we just got a showing request for, 6 p.m. tonight. Can you accommodate? And then that just throws everybody's plans out the window. Now, that being said, if you want and need to sell your home, that is part of your new lifestyle. You do need to understand that you need to be kind of at the ready. Your home needs to be show ready. You need to be prepped for that last minute. Now, by the way, when I get that showing request, I text my client immediately. As soon as it comes to my phone, I text my client immediately. Sometimes the showing request is for 3 days from now. Plenty of time, plenty of notice. Sometimes they're like, hey, we're in the neighborhood. Any chance we could see the home in about an hour? Things like that happen. And so, that's important to know. But the point of this particular topic is don't give up. If you need to pause, if you need to go, okay, look, not having luck. It's been a while. I want to enjoy the holidays. I'm going to push the pause button. Great. You can do that. But in the grand scheme of things, don't give up. Things are going to be looking up. Interest rates dropping a little bit, right? We're actually seeing a little bit of foot traffic pick up, weirdly. Not crazy, so don't get all excited, but I noticed like this morning, right before coffee time, I got a showing confirmation for one of my listings. And that's showing. I don't have to confirm that. It's already been confirmed, which is great. So that's kind of showing you that things are still happening back there behind the scenes, but there are some listings that have there's just nothing happening on them as much as we may try, but don't give up. Foot traffic is up, rates are down. We just kind of talked about, and then again, understand the market that we're in. I need to put my glasses on so I can push the right button. So you just have to understand where we are. It far too often, I saw a thing this morning, and it was a woman saying, we seem to live in a world where everybody wants to be an expert on something that they actually know nothing about. And so a lot of times, not that I know everything about real estate, but I'm not going to tell another person how to do their job when I don't know what their job entails. And I wouldn't say that this is going to happen when I don't understand that investment strategy, right? That's not my area of expertise. But a lot of people, they have a different expectation because they saw what happened to their neighbor's house 3 years ago. They're in a different mindset. They're not really in tune with what's going on. And that's why you have us. That's why you have your realtor. That's why you have your agent, because that is what we do. We keep our hand on it. That's the pulse of what's happening, and it fluctuates. I can tell you right now to expect this, but 2 weeks from now, if something changes in these outside sources that we can't control, if interest rates really drop, or if they go up, or if there's some global something happening, those are influences to the market that we can't control, nor can we really, forecast them. You can go with trends and things like that. But point is, don't give up. If you need to sell your home, what you need to do is not give up. You just need to change your expectation and your mindset. And yeah, sometimes that means you have to change your lifestyle. Sometimes it may mean that you have to make some different financial decisions. but it's just important for you to know and to understand that. But just don't give up. Unless you need to give up, then that's okay. But don't feel like it's a lost cause. It's not a lost cause. It's just taking longer. It's just taking longer. Okay, so with that, let me see. You guys are popping over here. Okay, let's see. Let's move on to our third brewing topic. We're zooming today, guys. We're zooming. We're going so fast. So this one, the actual topic is details. And what I'm referencing here are the final details as you are the seller or as the buyer, but specifically in this case, the seller, some of those last minute details that you need to make sure that you have done properly, that you are aware of. So the first one is utilities, making sure that the seller schedules utilities and that the buyer schedules utilities to be either turned off, transferred over, or to be established, right? If you want it turned off in the seller's name, if you want it transferred from buyer to seller's name, or if you just want to establish service in the beginning. These are important things to do. And yeah, in some cases, and this is where this is going to be a different scenario for each of you. So for instance, when I sold my house, I had scheduled my utilities to be turned off the day after we closed. The day after we closed. Sorry, my phones are ding-dinging. So the day after we closed. And the reason I did that is because I knew that the buyer was going to be setting up services to be set up the day that we did close, right? But just in the off chance that there was any hiccup in the system, I didn't want there to be an issue. And what I received was a notification from Duke Energy saying, you've established your cutoff service for such and such a date. I got confirmation the day after closing, right? Now the buyer went in and they scheduled services to be connected the day of closing. So then I got a notification from Duke saying, hey, we've changed your date to this date because the person is establishing service. So there was no disruption of service. And the reason I say that is because, I don't know, Sherry, if you're still here, but sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes they stop service before they transfer it into someone's name, or they stop service before it gets started with the new neighbor or the new buyer. And then you try to do a final walkthrough and you're like, where's the power? That's what we're trying to avoid. So food for thought. Details. If you are the seller, talk with your realtor, ask their advice, because in your area that maybe they do things a little bit differently. It is only my suggestion that you schedule services, especially power and water, for those to be turned off the day after closing to allow that buyer the opportunity to put it in their name so that there's no disruption in the service. Now, I'm going to sidebar because it's not actually here on this one. New construction is different. If you are purchasing new construction from a builder, depending on the builder, this is important, depending on the builder. In most cases, the builder will give you 3 days to transfer the utilities into your name. So the builder, if you close on a Monday, then the builder is going to keep the power and the water and everything on that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But come Thursday, they're shutting it off. Now, I've heard stories about someone going, oh, I forgot to transfer it over, and the builder never cut it off. And it was like 3 months before anyone noticed anything. Yes, that actually happened. But normally it's not going to happen. The builder's going to stay on top of it. So if it's new construction, the only difference there is that when you call your utility services, I think it might benefit you if you were to tell them, hey, purchasing a new construction home, brand new, built from dirt, the builder owns the home, so I'm just transferring service into my name. If you use those words, sometimes that may help the process be a little bit smoother. So there's just a little food for thought there. Now, the other thing that you need to do as a seller to help out the buyer is make sure that you have accumulated all of your keys, whether it's your house keys, whether it's gate keys, whether it's fence keys, your mailbox keys. Make sure if you have mailbox keys, you know what the mailbox number is on it. Garage door openers, amenity center key fobs. Anything that is important to your home. If you have a shed in the back and you have a lock on it, those keys, things like that. Make sure that you've accumulated all of those. And again, details. Communicate with your realtor as to what they want you to do. I usually tell my clients, leave all of that. I have this big pouch for them, excuse me, and they're supposed to put all of those random items, keys, key fobs, garage door openers, gate keys, if you have a gated community, however that works for your particular community, putting all of those in this big zipper pouch and leaving that in the kitchen, maybe in a drawer or on the counter when you leave. There should always be that one remaining key in the lockbox, right? And then again, that's communication between the realtors as to, are you closing right now? Are you going to take that to title? You can't give the buyer the key until everything is official. But that's again an important detail at the last minute that you don't want to be stressed over. And then where will they be? Like, in other words, where, if you have your warranties and your manuals, I think that part got cut off. If you have warranties and manuals or any of the paperwork, like for my house, again, I'm going to use mine as the example. In my house, I had a lot of stuff. I had all of the paperwork that was left by the builder. It was basically the plans, the building plans, the big giant fold over building plans that the builders had. They left them there, so I just took them and stuck them in a drawer, which was great because I didn't ever need them. Actually, I did need them. One time I needed them, and it was a great thing to be able to reference back to them or to provide that information to a trade that might have needed it. But manuals, warranties, things for like the appliances, you open up your dishwasher and you got the little thing. No one ever looks at them anyway, by the way, and you can download it off the internet if you needed to. But still, you can accumulate things like that. Put them in that zipper pouch. Leave those for the buyers. If you don't have them, it's okay. It's not a big deal. You can get those again off the internet. But anything that you have, it's nice to kind of compile all of that, have it in a nice, neat, organized place. I know for mine, I had a little binder because Amy and her binders, right? I had a binder and it had the company that did all of our exterior soffit lighting as well as the pool cage lighting. That information was in there. The pool company information was in there. All of that information, all of that is just, it was helpful for me to be able to have that in a binder to transfer that over. I no longer have access to it. So hopefully, anything that they need, they're going to be able to find. But anyway, okay, let's see. All right, let's move on. Let's see. I'm just trying to look to see if I missed something. Okay, so we got Kim came in late. Everyone's saying hi to Kim. Isn't that nice, Kim? Like, first of all, Kim, look. So you're like, good morning, coming in late. And then Jay's like, good morning, Kim. And Jane's like, hi, Kim. Like, isn't that nice? Like, good morning, everybody. And then, of course, yeah, Allie, again, if for any reason the stream gets a little bit bumpy. By the way, again, this is a temporary backdrop. It won't be long, guys. Give me about a month and I'll have more news and we'll have a new backdrop that'll be a little bit more permanent. More permanent. So that's going to be happening pretty soon. But in that case, so if we have any kind of weird, we're going to try to get through all that. And Melody, yes, Melody, very smart. Don't give up your dream house because of the interest rates drop. You can refinance. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Melody, for reminding everyone that really is important because a lot of the lenders are allowing you, a lot of them are, I don't know if you are, Melody, but there are a lot of companies out there that are allowing you, like, basically they won't charge you the mortgage fees, I guess, and you can be more specific, Melody, if you know what I'm talking about. The ones that, if you want to refinance later on, basically keep your loan with them, refinance it so you can take advantage of a better rate, but they're going to entice you to do that by saving you some of those fees that would originally be associated with refinancing. But 100%, yes. People always say it, interest rates are subjective. We can go, oh my gosh, they're really high. And well, you know what? They're high because of what we had a few years ago, but they're not high compared to what we had many, many years ago. And by the way, they're going to be higher again and they're going to go low. This is the nature of it's always fluid. It's not, it's not going to be constant every single time you're ready to buy a house. Now that's what the interest rates are now. People are like, well, if I wait, it was like, well, now you waited, but now the value has gone up. So what the house that you wanted to buy or the area that you wanted to buy in is now substantially more expensive. And you can't afford it now because you waited. Even if the interest rates are lower, the prices are higher. So it can be a big mess. So point is, to Melody's point, if you like the house, we can work around that rate. It hopefully will be just a short-term thing and then you can refinance it. Okay. And then Tracy Turner, why am I in tears? He used to crack me up. I am guessing you're talking about Eric. Yeah, he would crack me up too, and I'm always in tears. So I'm with you, my friend. Sending prayers to you and your family. Thank you. We can absolutely take them. We appreciate it very much. It is really hard, guys. It's hard to kind of pretend. Um, Even for this hour, that everything is okay, because it's not okay. That's okay. We'll get through it, and I'm not the only one. And I have so many people have such a more difficult and a harder life, and just so many more things to be worried about, that I would feel guilty always crying. So sorry. All right, let's move on. Okay. See, this is what happens. All right, Tracy, like, true story, Tracy. This is what I tell people. This is what gets me. I tell people, all the time, like, when I'm talking to them, and I'm fine, I'm just talking. And then they're nice to me. And then as soon as they're nice to me, boom, comes the waterworks. So it's almost like you have to put on this little, armor, not that anyone's like doing anything to me, but it's just like, this is me, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm saying, and then as soon as somebody's nice, then it just kind of like gushes inside, and then I'm done. So anyway, I apologize for that brief interruption and emotional outburst. So let's move on and let's go on, because we have so many things to go over today, and I do need to get out of here a little bit earlier today. So let's go to secret. Okay, so this isn't really a secret. I always have to kind of go back a little bit, and it's not like I'm the only one that knows about this. We've actually talked about this before here. But the nice thing is that everything is starting on the new Independence Parkway expansion, which is going to expand New Independence Parkway from Horizon West over to Lake County. Again, another one of those connector roads getting you from Claremont to Horizon West, therefore to Florida, therefore to Disney, much, much, much faster. Obviously, it's a game changer. And what I want to show you is on this specific map. I'm not super savvy, and I've been taking over a little bit. Allie she's still the mastermind behind all of it, but I've been trying to take over little bits and pieces. By the way, it's hard. Adults, if you were anywhere near my age, this new technical world is very difficult. So anyway, but this is what I did. So there's an overview map. This is just Google Maps. If you look over to the right-hand side, you can see the big blue referencing the road. That's obviously 429, right? That's going to get you to Disney. It's also going to take you up and get you to the turnpike. But if you see right there in the big interchange, you're going to see Horizon West. You can see the little "you are here" kind of bubble over top. That's Horizon West, right? That's where you have your Walmart, you have your Dunkin' Donuts. You can even see there on the map. You've got Urban Air. All of that is located right over there. The Publix, Sinopolis, Ford's Garage, Miller's Ale House. All of that is happening over there. Filigree Coffee. All of that is over there where you kind of see the little where it says Horizon West. Once you cross over, now you see where it actually says New Independence Parkway Expansion Project, where I wrote that out. Look to the left of that. That says Parkside Trails by Pulte Homes. I have already had several clients contract at that community because it is Claremont. But when that road connects, look at where you are. That road connects. Daisy, no ma'am. When that road connects, you're going to be able to go take New Independence Parkway straight to Avalon Road, take a right, go straight down, take a left, and then boom, you're going to be right there at Disney. So big game changer. The road is happening. They're working on it. I'm expecting a end of 2027 expected completion for that. Now, the other thing I want to note, if you're not really familiar with it, is take a look at the calendar. Goodness gracious, I need more caffeine. The map a little bit better. So right where the words expansion project are. Do you see that, like, on the map? Expansion project, that little community right there, kind of where you see water conservation, you see McKinney Road, that is Wincy Groves. That is a community by Dreamfinders that has been there for several years now, right? That's been closed out for a long time, but that's where that community is. Now, and I'm saying this if you know where you are, right? If you've been driving with us, if you go back through the Sunday drives, or if you live in the area or visit the area and you're doing your own driving. If you go down New Independence Parkway, from 429, you take the exit, you're at New Independence Parkway, you're in Hamlin. I can't find the button fast enough, but we can all sing it. Hamlin. Okay. So you take that exit and then you're going to turn right. You're going to go to Avalon Road and you're going to cross straight through. There is a stoplight there and you're going to go straight across. And then now the only thing you can do when you go across is go to Wincy Groves. But soon, this new Independence Parkway expansion project is what's going to continue on, get you not only to the Parkside Trails by Pulte Homes, but to the whole Wellness Way area where the bumpity bump. Somebody, oh my gosh, and I don't know who it was. Somebody recently was talking about the road because they had stumbled across that old Sunday drive where Eric and I drove the bumpity bump, which was essentially Schofield Road. Before it connected all the way to 27 in Lake County. Anyway, it was just funny because that whole area is just such a big booming area. All of these connector roads all the way down Avalon, connecting you from Claremont over to Horizon West are big, big, big game changers. Some are very excited about this. Some are not. Some are like, are you kidding me? There's already enough traffic. We don't have a way to deal with all the traffic and the people that are living in Horizon West now. Some people are like, yeah, bring it on more people, let's energize these businesses. Let's get us a little bit more retail and commercial out there. You're going to get all kinds. You're going to get people who love it, people who don't. It's kind of like, I don't know, like some people are just like me people. They're all about me. They want to be first in line. They want to get theirs and then they want to be done. I'm like, well, I live here, we live here, you live here. It's a great place to live. Don't you want to, like, other people can enjoy it too. Like, we're not any more special than them. They're entitled to live in a great place too. What we need is to make sure that the governing officials, all of those, whether it's stormwater, whether it's traffic, all of those entities around us are also helping out the people that live in the area to make sure that everybody can live and get to where they need to go. So anyway, okay, so Pam says, we looked at a development in Claremont by Pulte Homes. It was perfect location, but sadly the lots started at 150. Pam, what community was that? Was it I'm trying to think of where it could have been in Claremont, unless it was in Serenoa. That was anyway. But anyway, I will tell you candidly, this is my personal opinion. I think Pulte, along with many of the builders, overinflate the lot premiums because it's the first thing that they will advertise or discount when it's time to incentivize buyers. That's just my personal thoughts, my experience. It is very, it's just one of those things where you can just throw a number on a lot. I mean, obviously the land, it depends on how much the builder paid for the land, right? They want to recoup some of that. But sometimes I think they overinflate the prices for those lot premiums so that they can turn around then and go, hey, this month we're having half off all lot premiums. Wow, you think you're saving a lot of money, but in reality, that's probably what it was worth the whole time. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, Pam, to your point, that turns some people away, right? And then they're like, well, I can't afford that because if the lot premium is $150,000, that's usually not in somebody's budget, right? I usually tell people you can expect anywhere, maybe up to a $50,000 lot premium. If it's really nice and it's on the water, if it's on a pond, maybe anywhere from 50 to, 75, 80. And that to me that's plenty, right? For the lots that we have here. And most of these home sites are not any bigger than your average 120 by 50. So, 120 by 50. So anyway, that's my personal opinion. Take it up with whomever, but that's mine. Pam says, I love the Sunday drive when you and Eric talked about the bumpity bump. Good memories. Yeah, seriously, that was scary. You guys, that may have made for like a good Sunday drive, but I was petrified. I am not an adventurous soul. Kim says, I have to tell you, in the Sawgrass area, people in the Sawgrass area are pretty infuriated that this is being completed before the Sawgrass connection. I get you, Kim. Some people here have been waiting 10 years. We will be protesting. Kim, you know what? That is a really, really, really important point. Okay, so what Kim is referencing here. Okay, so from 27, when you turn into the Sawgrass Bay and Serenoa area off of 27, You turn off at 27, you go down Sawgrass Bay Boulevard. To the right and left of you, you have Sawgrass Community. Continuing straight, now you're bumping into Serenoa. At the end of the Serenoa community, Lake County has had their portion completed now for a long time. I had clients that purchased back in that area, a young couple. They purchased there. They both work for Disney. Oh my gosh, it's been years, like 5 years ago. It's been quite a while. And yeah, to Kim's point, we actually did the Sunday drive. Fleming's Road, so off of Avalon Road, Fleming's Road, which is where, if you're familiar with some of the communities, there we go, that we've referenced, Encore at Ovation by MI Homes, they were like the first community out there on Fleming's Road off of Avalon. It felt like it was kind of far back there. Well, now Lake Star is across the street from them. You have North Lake Innovation. So all of that's kind of filling in. But to Kim's point, people purchased in Serenoa and in Sawgrass Bay with the expectation of that connector road connecting soon. Since then, they've connected Schofield Road, and now they're getting ready to start, and well, they've started, and then hopefully complete the new Independence Parkway expansion project. Kim, that is a really valid point. I don't blame you. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. That hadn't really occurred to me because it's just been one of those things that's just been there. I'm like, well, Lake County has done their part. They're waiting for Disney and in Orange County to give the go ahead and to connect Fleming's. My only thought, my sweet, sweet friend Kim, my only thought is that because where you are, where we're referencing, when Sawgrass Bay Boulevard does eventually connect to Fleming's, which connects to Western Way, that is literally going to be a direct shot to Disney. And they are probably just not prepared for the overwhelming traffic. And they might be trying to get these other ones connected first. But I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to look into it because Kim, now you got me mad. I'm all riled up now. We're going to get Kim taken care of. Pam says it was it was near Wellness Way. Gotcha. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on. So yeah, so that was this, again, not a secret, but it is kind of nice to know that they're moving things along and there is an estimated completion date. All right, let's go to some wishes. Okay, so Sherry and Paul and Ronnie and Jordan and Taylor, and yes, I spelled Jordan correctly. I am so excited. So we may have had Sherry on here last week, but I love her so much she gets to be mentioned twice. Sherry is a repeat client of mine several times now, and just absolutely adore her. We have a lot in common. Not always the best of things, but Sherry, I'm so excited for you. And Sherry, later on, if you're still on here, by the way, I want to chat with you to find out when you're actually going to be where you need to be so that if there's anything I can do to help out, let me know. Paul and Ronnie, super excited for them. Now, interestingly, Paul was the person who hired Eric and myself back in our day. He was our entertainment manager with King's Productions, and he's responsible for hiring us. So when we first met a gazillion trillion years ago, Paul is in the entertainment industry in a creative management position, and was moved here from California, which is where he really calls home. Moved here temporarily to oversee a huge Universal project. I can't say more than that, but he was here to take part in that. And his job is done now. So he's back in Southern California where they call home. And Jordan and Taylor, oh my gosh, like seriously, I love you guys so much. You know, this is now children of clients. And this is what is just my heart. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Like seriously, truly. Clients of mine that purchased, years ago, Del Webb Oasis when it first opened up. And now children are purchasing in communities nearby. That makes my heart happy because everyone will be close together. But it also just makes me happy in general that we get to stay a part of each other's lives. I feel like candidly for them, their timing has been the most wonky as everything has coincided with Eric's health and passing and all of the things. But Jordan and Taylor, I absolutely adore you. I'm so excited for you and got a lot of fun stuff coming up. All right, so let's move on. Let's go to Scoop. Okay, so now this, first of all, these are old pictures. Okay, obviously they're old pictures. I wanted to, this was supposed to be, I don't know, it was either last week or the week before. This was supposed to be the scoop, and I mean, it's not, again, it's not really scoop. It's just, it's another segment. But if you have not ever been, the Disney Food and Wine Festival there at Epcot is absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm not a foodie, nor do I drink, but I've enjoyed it. So these are pictures, obviously these pictures from a few years ago. This was the upper left hand. That's obviously the 2024 picture. The one here on the bottom, that's Eric and I when we would do our date. We decided that we would take some time and we would go enjoy that. Well, we decided we were going to make that an annual thing for ourselves, just like we had decided that for the Flower and Garden Festival, which landed right around our anniversary, that we would always go to Disney and enjoy that just us, just as a couple, just for us to have some us time. And then we didn't. We went once. And then same thing for the Food and Wine Festival. We took some time out to go do that years ago. Clearly it's years ago. Look how skinny. Good Lord. I must have still been going to the gym at that time. But anyway, that was a while back when we went. And yeah, it's so the lesson here is, first of all, go to the Disney Food and Wine Festival. It is amazing. I went with a friend of mine from high school, probably the only person that I've really continued to stay friends with and have seen, and we've met up, since graduating high school, because it was high school, right? But Jackie came and she stayed with me, and we did the Food and Wine Festival, and she loved it. I loved it. And I actually, I partook. I tried it. I had the wine, the little, what do you call them? The, oh shoot, what's the term when you have like three different, I don't know what they are, but anyway, when you have like the three different wines and three different cheeses and you pair them up and you taste them and all that, it was actually really fun and it was really good. So really enjoyed myself. So I definitely advise you, or encourage you, if you haven't already, make it a point to go to these wonderful, amazing festivals that they have at the different parks. The Food and Wine Festival is, even though I'm not a foodie, nor do I drink, it's still one of my favorites. And the Flower and Garden Festival is also amazing. The other point here is to take time and to enjoy time with your significant other. Make the time. Make it. Otherwise, you're going to have to look back and find pictures from several years ago, from the last time you were able to go out and have some fun and enjoy each other. So with that, I'm going to move on to the next topic, which is, la, 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 la. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do word.
Now come on, Amy, tell me what's the word.
All right, the word is funding, but before I go to that, I want to pop up Pam's comment. We just went to the Food and Wine yesterday. We had some pretty yummy food. One of my favorites is the apple strudel with vanilla cream from Germany. Okay, that was cruel because I've yet to have anything to eat this morning, and that sounds delicious. All right, Pam. Well, here's the thing. Pam, go back and have another one for me. Okay. All right. So our word of the day is funding. I just wanted to mention because sometimes there's confusion. So when you get ready to close on your home, right, whether you're the buyer or whether you're the seller, if you are the buyer, then you need to wire your funds. They typically ask 24 hours at least in advance. So the title company will give you the final number, the final amount for you to wire those funds to the title company where it will be held safely by that neutral third party until it is time for funding. Funding happens after all documents have been signed by both the buyers and by the sellers. Once all important parties to the transaction have signed their documents, and only on the day that has been contracted do they initiate funding. And initiating funding means the title company now has all of the money. They know, okay, so the buyer has sent all this money. The seller has a mortgage, and the company or the bank that holds that mortgage is Bank of America, right? So the title company has all of the information that they need. And you have signed your closing disclosure, which is itemized out always as debits and credits to both parties, buyers and sellers, who's responsible for what, who gets what, what's prorated, what amount, blah, blah, blah. All of that will be sent to you prior to closing. So you're going to know what that amount is that you need to wire. But then once all signatures have been done, all signatures are ready, that's when they will initiate funding. And at that point, they will say, okay, well, we have this lump sum of money that we're holding, and this amount needs to go to Bank of America to pay off the seller's remaining mortgage. This amount needs to go to this person. So everything will get funded out. So just because you may have wired your funds does not mean that everything is funded. That just means you've wired your funds to be held there at the title company. And I say this because this is an example. So I have a cash buyer. Was able to sign, because cash buyers don't have to sign in person. They can sign the majority of their documents, just electronic signature. So they were able to sign their documents the day before closing. The seller signed their documents a couple days before closing because they were finishing up the house and they were moving on, getting out of town, literally. So sellers pre-signed, cash buyer signed their documents the day before closing. Closing is scheduled for the next day, but that doesn't mean it was their house. Just because all parties had signed the day before closing, and just because the buyer had wired funds the day before closing, as they're supposed to, or 2 days before closing, doesn't mean that house is theirs, because the title company still has all that money. And they have to now fund it out to the appropriate parties in the appropriate amount. So just wanted to throw that out there, because there was actually somebody was confused about that. And I thought that would be a good little topic for today. So, all right, let's move on. What I'm watching. Okay, so I stumbled across this and I love this so much. It is called A Place to Call Home, and it is, I believe, an Australian series, but it is on, I think it's on Paramount Plus. I believe there's 6 seasons to it. It was back in 2014. So again, I'm just always late to the game. Always. I don't think I ever watch anything when it's actually happening. Doesn't matter, because this is set in a different era anyway. This is like in the 1950s, I think, somewhere around there. But at any rate, this is A Place to Call Home on Paramount Plus, I believe, is where I've been watching it. And there's 6 seasons, but I just finished the first season, and I cannot tell you, it was just the perfect day the other day. I had some time that I could just, like, exhale, like nothing was, eminently pressing. And so I was like, I'm going to make some coffee, and I'm just going to find something to watch. And I watched this and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next episode. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next episode. So this is going to be one of those, hopefully I can feel that way all through 6 seasons, and that I don't get a little bit tired of it. But anyway, if you're looking for something to watch, I like that one. It kind of makes me happy. So, all right, moving on. I want to get to Cup, because this one is super important to me. Okay, so first of all, you guys are I love how you take care of me. The word I couldn't remember was flight. At the Food and Wine Festival, the flight, the different beer samples, or the different drink samples, or the wine samples, it's called a flight. Clearly, I'm not very educated when it comes to that type of thing. All right, but I have to tell you, you guys know this because I've said it before. Jim and his beautiful wife Cheryl, they purchased a home. Gosh, I don't even know. I don't know if they're here. A couple years ago. And they absolutely make me so happy. They live the lifestyle that makes me happy that I do what I do, because they get to do what they're doing. So I asked permission. I didn't just do this. What happened was they posted a lovely picture of them having breakfast at Captain Cook's at the Polynesian recently on Facebook. So we're Facebook friends. And I saw that pop up, and it was like they were there and they were eating in this beautiful breakfast. And then they were like, we're, having breakfast, and then we're going to go off to the Magic Kingdom. But it's like that every time. And I don't go onto Facebook very often. Honestly, I just don't, but I'll pop on every once in a while, just kind of see what's happening. And then I kind of go away. But almost every time theirs will pop up. And this is just a few, and guys, I mean a few of their Facebook, little, notes that they send out. Went to the Magic Kingdom this morning for a few hours. Park was empty. We had a great time at Hollywood Studios, waiting for the villain show to begin. Front row seats, should be awesome. Hollywood Studios with the girls, got to ride Rise of the Resistance in my own car, something that will probably never happen again. Early morning breakfast at the Polynesian, hanging out with a couple characters. There was a picture of them with Mickey and Minnie. Time for some fun at Magic Kingdom. Guys, they are living the lifestyle that makes me so happy. This is what I want for you. It's not like they live there, but I bet they probably could. They should definitely have, frequent visitor, frequent fan discounts. Maybe they should have a place to stay at Cinderella's Castle. But from the concert series that they go to just going to the resorts and looking at the holiday decorations, I think that was when I really was like touched on a different level. When I think it was last year, maybe the year before, when I saw that their post was like they just took a day to go to the different resorts at Disney and just walk and look at the decorations and embrace the ability to live in this wonderful, magical place. And it just makes my heart so, so, so happy, because I know other people do this too, but it's just, they're just out all the time, and I'm jealous. I really am. I'm like, I wish Eric and I could have done that. I wish that we could have enjoyed the area and the lifestyle that we so want other people to be able to enjoy, and that they do. We just didn't get time to do it because we were busy helping making your dreams come true, which is totally okay. Makes my heart real happy. But having this cup overflowing today with just love and gratitude and just happiness and joy, because I see them doing this all the time. So yay for them. Look. And that literally is just a few. Like, it did not take me but like 2 minutes to find these Disney things. I didn't have to scroll back like 5 years. This is like a month's worth. So anyway, so I'm so proud of you guys for living the Disney lifestyle. Makes my heart happy. And thanks for sharing all that. And thank you, all of our coffee time family and friends, for allowing us to share some of that stuff too. All right, I have a critter. This is the wolf spider. So there are a lot of bugs here in Florida. What prompted this is I had to take Maggie to the vet the other day. And as I was there was this huge like spider sack outside on the exterior window. And a lady that had come in with her dog, I guess they've been following this thing now for however long. Like, they didn't want to knock it down or anything. And so that just got me thinking about spiders. And then lo and behold, went and did a walkthrough and saw one of these spiders. They're all over the place. They're called the wolf spider. Now, the reason they're called the wolf spider, actually, they're not web making spiders. They are ground burrowing spiders. So it's a little bit different. I didn't actually know that until I looked this spider up. But they don't spin webs on the ground. They don't spin webs. They are a ground dweller in burrows. They have great eyesight, but they're called the wolf spider because they stalk. They are venomous, but not to humans. And it makes me wonder, there was a time I stepped on something outside and my foot was screaming, like in between my toes. And I was like, I don't know what I did. There was not a splinter. There was not a piece of glass. There was not a cut. And I wondered for the longest time what in the world it was, because it hurt and it stung. And I thought it was maybe a wasp or something like that. But now that I think about it, maybe it was one of those spiders. And even though I'm still here to talk about it, it was not comfortable, my friend. So anyway, yeah. So, all right, I think I have everything. Do I? Nope, I have my listings. I'm going to do that real fast and then we'll scooch out. Okay. So the listing spotlight, I'm going to skip the little intros here just for the sake of time. So the spotlight listing is that end unit townhome we have in Hawksmoor. Hawksmoor is in Horizon West, built by Madame E Homes. This is an end unit. This is one that we have a video tour of this. It is still on the market. Surprisingly, I just don't get it. And this is a perfect example of there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like there's 50 showings and no one wants to buy it. It's that the buyers just aren't out there. So this is an important thing to note. If you're getting showing after showing after showing after showing after showing after showing and nobody wants to buy it, maybe there's something wrong with the house or the pricing. Okay. But you're getting people in the door. If that's because there's buyers. If no one is looking at it, it's probably a sign that there's just no buyers in the market looking for that at that time, or it's ridiculously overpriced. This at $484,999 is an absolute bargain. So this is not overpriced. There's nothing wrong with the home. If the feedback was like, oh gosh, it looks like it's got some structural problems, or oh gosh, it's really dirty on the inside, then you would know we have problems. But when you were just not a lot of people even to look at it, but everyone loves it. They're like, oh, we love it. It's on their list. It's on their list. So anyway, we did lower the price recently, $484,999. Again, right there in the heart of Horizon West. It's in the Hawksmoor community. Wonderful amenities, end unit, lots of windows. And I have the video tour. So if you're interested, let me know. It has a detached garage. So that means there is a courtyard between the house and the garage. It is screened in, covered and uncovered. So you get a little bit of everything there. With that, then we've also got the Winter Garden 1-story. We have the Mineola 2-story. And then we have the Windermere townhome, another end unit. This is in Windermere. This is right off of Reams Road. If you are, or if you have, or know of anyone who has young adults that are, looking for, and I say young adults that they can afford to buy, right? It's not for rent. It is for purchase. This is right there beside Disney cast member parking, guys. This is right there by Disney cast member parking. So if you have family members or friends, I've had many, many, many clients who have purchased a townhome just like this for their child, so that their child could live right there, work at Disney. Now, the child pays the parents rent. So it's not like it's just, we're giving you this townhouse. But if you know anybody in that situation, this townhome is a perfect option. It is right there by Disney cast member parking. And then the other one, we have the Davenport 2-story as well. That is a great deal. We have the Winter Garden gated one. This is in Lakeview Preserve. Closing cost contribution of $20,000. $20,000 closing cost contribution. That is also a VA assumable loan. They are not giving up their VA certificate, but if you are a VA, a veteran who has their own VA certificate, you can assume that. There's also the 55 plus Kissimmee, $10,000 closing cost contribution, backs up to the golf course. And that was at the Four Seasons K Hovnanian 55 plus community. And then again, the Hawksmoor townhome that we actually just talked about and just featured. All right. So I don't know. Do I have everything? I need to do a quick little look. I think I got everything, right? I didn't do babies, but we'll do baby. It's the same pictures as last week, but they're cute. You want to see them. So let's do it real fast. Yes, I know. They're the same pictures from before. I forgot to add new ones this week, but they're cute. We can look at them again. Hopefully we'll get some videos because, oh my God, they're so adorable. I don't know how to put the video in here, so I need to get Allie's help for that. At any rate, so hopefully we'll have something for you for next week that'll have a video in there. If not, we'll just look at these pictures again because they're adorable. All right, guys, with that, I will tell you, I do have a meeting today that I have to scooch. I have to meet with a fence company and a builder and some things happening. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you. As always, remember, I'm here to help. Just call me or text me at 407-848-8042. Texting is usually faster and easier because I can respond a little bit faster. But if you need email, because that's more your thing, go ahead and email me at amy@heartandhomeorlando.com. If you want to call me, you can call me too. But texting and then saying you're going to call it will be a little bit easier for me. And then the last thing, guys, is as always, you have no idea how much I appreciate you sticking with me. I know that I am not as fun and as entertaining as having Eric around, but I'm so happy that you're with me and that you guys actually help me get through it every week. So 8 months today, it's going to be a tough day. Wow, I almost got through the whole thing without crying. Almost. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much. Please stay safe. Gotta find my button, put my glasses on. Please stay safe, stay well. Remember, I love you so much. Have a great day. Happy house hunting.